Welcome to another episode of TD Talk. My boy Dave, he's out. He's out of town right now. But I got some good matchups to bring to y'all today. I got some good matchups coming y'all way. Today it'll be a little bit more exciting day of football. Last week was just a little dull, but this week we got some heavyweight bouts. Speaking about heavyweight bouts, y'all see that Mike Tyson, Jake. Uh, anyways, let's jump on into it. Sunday for the Sunday picks. We'll jump straight on into it to the Sunday slate. You know what I mean? Go straight into it. I like this matchup. Actually, looking at this matchup, I really think this is going to be one of those really tough heavyweight bouts. It's the Ravens and going down to Pittsburgh. So they're playing in Pittsburgh. Remember, Mike Tomlin at home, a home underdog at that, +3. You got -3 for the Ravens coming in as the favorite. Under over 48.5, -10 either way. And then -180 for your favorite, +155 for your underdog. Now, let me tell you about this, okay? So, way I see this, and I've actually done a little bit of my research here. These matchups are usually tight like this, so I don't um, you know I don't doubt that they had a spread like this. Now, what I am seeing here, this has been a little bit different since about 2021. This is really the highest under over line that they've had. So what I would say is I took it a little bit higher than this for an under. I took it around 55, but I would make the odds makers prove that this matchup can be worthy of a under over line like that. So I wouldn't see a lot of problem taking the under here. Um, I mean, in the last matchups, it was 17-10, Pittsburgh 17-10, again, Pittsburgh 16-13, Pittsburgh. And then the time before that, Baltimore took it 16-14. They went to an overtime in 2022, early 2022, January, 16-13 in overtime. Again, another 3-point spread there, 20-19, 19-14, Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh is 7-3 in these matchups. And Lamar doesn't typically do too well going. I think he's 1-3, I want to say, going into Pittsburgh or playing Pittsburgh. And when you look at the against the spread, usually the team that is the underdog usually does the covering. So the person that has the favorite line here historically hasn't done well with the cover. And then just Harbaugh being a favorite, he doesn't do too well. Tomlin, as an underdog, you got to bet with him. So to me, I'm taking the Steelers here. 3.5, 3.5, 3 is a little tight for me. I like it at 7.5, +7.5 to throw in your parlay. But I would not be surprised here. I would not be surprised at all if Pittsburgh pulled this out. The way Russ is playing, that defense of the Ravens. Remember, Hamilton is out. Hamilton is, I mean, not a green dot, but he might as well be because the way that man plays, he's all over the field, in the pass, in the run, drops. He does drop. He does the blitz. He'll cover the edge. So when you're missing a guy like that, not to mention Patrick Queen is over on the Steelers, so he definitely has played against Lamar Jackson enough times in his career. He's not going to be shocked by the speed or, um, just the Lamar Jackson that everybody is kind of getting thrown off by. I wouldn't typically think that Patrick Queen, he's seen enough of Lamar. So, and then Russ is playing really well right now, able to score 30, but I don't think he'll put that up on this team, this Ravens team. But you know what? With that secondary, I wouldn't be surprised. George picking 50-50 balls, that's a win for him. And then you've seen Mike Williams already making an impact, touching down in Pittsburgh. So give me Pittsburgh here +7, 3.5. I mean, historically, that is the line to take +3.5 with the Steelers. So I'm on Steelers side today, but plus 7.5 for me. All right, jumping on into our next matchup here. Some of these matchups I like for betting purposes. Some of them I like just for competition purposes. But I would say another good matchup I think I'm going to bet on here. Um, Looking at this matchup is going to be on the 1 o'clock slate as well. I probably won't catch too much of this game. I'll be watching that Pittsburgh Baltimore matchup. But Minnesota is going into Tennessee as a 6 point favorite here. Under over 40, minus 10 either way, minus 270, plus 220 if you take the underdog at Tennessee. The way I see this game is Flores and that defense is ridiculous, giving everybody problems. And we got Will Levis on Tennessee side, and the way that they were able to be productive in their last matchup was running the ball. When they run the ball, they can hang in the game, but that run defense of the Vikings, they're not going to be able to do that. Tony Pollard, really great running back, but really good running back. But to me, I don't see I don't see it today for the Titans. I really don't. Unless Darnold just comes out and does what he did the game before, which I think he threw 3 picks in the red zone, which I mean, he still got it out of that game with a win 12-7, which um, they didn't cover the line, which they should have. Like I say, Darnold threw 3 picks in the end zone. I don't see him throwing 3 picks today in the end zone against this Tennessee team. Tennessee team, like I say, Brian Flores has so many blitz packages and coverages and pressures that he'll put on you at the line. And Will Levis is known to make those bonehead decisions. I just don't see him shoring up and being a sure quarterback and being able to have answers against this rush, against this blitz. So give me the Minnesota. I took a money line, straight up on money line, because they can have those games where they miss, throw picks in the end zone, and Sam Darnold can turn into a pumpkin. But give me Minnesota. Give me Minnesota straight up on the money line here. I just can't take Texans. Excuse me, Tennessee Titans. I just can't do it. I can't do it. All right, so moving into our next matchup here, this will be a good one as well. I can say good amount of heavyweight bouts on this ticket today. You know what? Before we get into that, let's go into this one. I like this one for betting purposes. Um, so looking at this game, it'll be a good game, but I think that this this is Rams are going into New England as a road favorite. Under over 43, then you got minus 10 either way there, minus 210, plus 175 on New England if you're going to take New England. A lot of people, and I think that the spread really reflects the just the like that people have for Drake May. He's a young, rook, but at the end of the day, people kind of like how he's been playing and what he did against Chicago. But I'll say this that Rams defense is good. They're better than most people give them credit for. And I don't see Drake May having that type of success. They had a great win last week. What that does to the team's locker room, I feel like they on a high right now going into, and then they got a home game coming into this game, feeling themselves. But at the end of the day, Matt Stafford in that game last week, it was a tough game for him. A lot of flags, a lot of penalties. They couldn't quite get the ball rolling on last week. So the way I see this one, give me the Rams straight up here. I don't think they'll have as bad as a game as they had last week, especially just because of all the penalties they had and how much it took them to try to get rolling. They just couldn't do it. But against this Patriots team, missing people on the secondary, missing people in the defense, Matt Stafford's going to dice them up. So give me Matt Stafford against Drake May. I don't think he's quite there yet, and the Patriots don't have enough weapons to stick it to the Rams. So give me that. Give me Matt Stafford here in this space here. Um, I don't see a problem taking a 4. Maybe if I could get it at 3, I'd take it at 3. But you know, just give me the money line. But like I say, if you could find it at 3, I'd take it at 3. That I wouldn't have a problem with that. All right, going into our next matchup, it's going to be a really exciting matchup as well. This is a classic matchup. And I like how they put this in the 4 o'clock block right after the uh, uh, Pittsburgh Steelers matchup. If you like this matchup, you're more of a San Fran fan and you're more of a Seahawks fan, this is a perfect matchup for you to kind of tune into. I know there's also a heavyweight bout at 4:30 as well, which I think they should have put at not 8:30. They should have put one heavyweight bout each block. But anyways, they got Seattle here going into San Fran. San Fran's at home as a favorite. San Fran is a -6 favorite, -110. Either way, you take it, and then over under 48.5, -110 there, and then -260 for the favorite in San Fran at home, +210 for Seattle as the underdog. Now, wait, when you're looking at this game, I think DK Metcalf is questionable, and he may play, he may not, and how healthy is he going to be if he does play? Way I see this game going, I mean, the 49ers really always stick it to the Seattle Seahawks. So way I see this game, McCaffrey's back. You know, if you get Jordan Mason back a little bit healthy, Jawan Jennings coming back as well, one of their better receivers. Really, if you look at it, he's one of the best third receivers you can have. You still got Kittle, you still got Debo, and they're playing at home. The Seattle's special team, I mean, 49ers special team has just been bad, but I feel like they're starting to kind of get it together. They got down to the red zone multiple times and missed those field goals. I feel like eventually they're going to start punching that thing in. They got McCaffrey, give McCaffrey the ball, give him little quick screens. McCaffrey is still even after his injury, I think he's one of the best running backs in the game. Slow week last week for him, but I think he'll start to get on the heater this week. I think they're going to open him up. And if he can stay healthy the whole game, I think that, he's going to cook. So looking at the 49ers, the last six of the 10 matchups 49ers have taken, and the Seahawks haven't won. I don't even think that they won since Geno's played, but they haven't won since December 5th of 2021. And the Seahawks, they covered in that one. They were going in as an underdog in that game, and they did cover. But outside of that, the 49ers, September 18th, 2022, they covered a 10-point spread. 2022 December, they covered a 3.5-point spread. 2023 in January, they covered a 10-point spread. They covered a 7-point spread in November of last year, and then they covered Seattle. They covered a 14-point spread, which it shows how dominant the 49ers. They went in with a 14-point spread, and then San Fran, they covered a 3.5-point spread. So the last 6 really matchups out of the last 10, Seattle 49ers have really been going in that thing as a favorite, as we see today. And they've been able to cover 7-point spreads, 10-point spreads, 3-point spreads. And the last, only one of the 6 wins, they were a 14.5 favorite, which they didn't cover that. That's a very high spread to cover. But what I see here, the spread scares me because of their special teams. I could see them missing more field goals. So I the spread is high. If you could get it, an alternate at 3, 2.5, I'd take that. But the woes with the special team is just terrible to me. I can't go that high on a spread with a bum kicker. I mean, just you can't rely on this guy in the clutch. So I would take the 49ers here, either money line or if you can get it at -2.5, I'd take that. All right, let's jump on into this matchup here, and I really like this matchup. We'll touch on this matchup before we go into our last heavyweight bout. You got the Cincinnati Bengals going into the LA Chargers. You got -105, -115, a little bit more expensive for the favorite in the LA Chargers. Under over 48, -110, and then +100, -120. So if you look at this game here, you got Burrow going into the Chargers, going into LA. Now, here's the thing. Burrows is red hot. Even though the record doesn't reflect that, they played really tough teams, and they've gotten beat by really small margins, like 1 point, one possession games, but not even one touchdown type, like 3 point, 2 point type, So this team is still dangerous. Now, this team is still dangerous, but when you look at the Chargers are no slouch. They played sound football. They don't turn the ball over. They got Justin Herbert back there. Let us not forget, he can throw that rock. Now, does he have a lot of people to throw to? Does he have stars? No, he doesn't. But at the end of the day, that Cincinnati Bengals defense cannot stop anything. I mean, they would have won some of these games if they were able to stop anything at all. Like, at all. I think the freaking uh, Florida State football team right now could go and put 30 up on them. I mean, that's how bad this defense is. It's just terrible. I mean, Jamar Chase, let him have almost 250 yards. Unbelievable to have that on a defense. And that's the reason I feel like they're losing at this moment. Joe Burrow's, like I say, red hot. They've lost scoring 34. They've lost to Philly. That was a tough game for them. They lost scoring 17. They lost again, scoring 38. They lost again. Washington scoring 33. My guys, we beat them, but they scored 33 in that game. They scored 26 against the reigning champs, the Chiefs. But they had a tough go at it, game one with the Patriots. I don't think they got rolling. But all those losses, you got a 1 point loss, a 5 point loss, 3 point loss. This one they got blown out, but the last loss was by 1 point again. So, and a 1 point scoring 34 points. So to me, that defense is terrible. It's terrible. They can't stop anything. So, the way I see this, give me the Chargers with a little bit more points. If I had to take them, like I say, give me the Chargers. I put them in my parlay as +7.5, just in case they kind of, you know, can't get that last drive out and lose by a touchdown. But the way I see this is I could really see, uh, you know, Joe Burrow's playing well, putting up 20, and then the defense lets up 27. Like I could really see that. So I'm on the Chargers side here. Give me Chargers money line or give me them +7.5. Um, a lot of people like the Bengals in this seat. I just don't see, if you don't have a defense, it's hard to win games. I mean, Joe Burrows is putting up record numbers for him, like really good numbers, but can't win the game because the defense. So I give me the Chargers +7 in this matchup. Sorry, I can't do it, Joe. I can't do it, Burrows. All right. Last matchup here we want to talk about here, which is one of the better matchups of the week. Now, this line is down to 2. It was at 3.5 earlier today. Oh, excuse me, earlier yesterday. I think I saw it at 3.5. But you got Chiefs as an underdog going into Buffalo. First of all, this is Patty we talking about. This is Patty Mahomes, okay? +2, -105, -115 for your favorites in Buffalo. Like I say, -2 spread. They're the favorite at home against Kansas City. Under over 46, -110. Either way you cut it there on the under over, +115, -135 for your favorite. Now, when looking at this game, okay, if you look at this game, way I see this game is the Kansas City Chiefs are undefeated, and I get it. They have a lot of people say, some of them games they shouldn't have won, and I agree. I agree that there's some of those games that were lucky, very lucky, but this team is undefeated. Okay, and the strength of this team is their defense. Now, I don't think maybe the secondary is the strongest it's been in years, but definitely that linebacker core, definitely that defensive line. It's gonna be tough for Baltimore to run the ball. That being said, when the spread came out, I hit Dave. I was like, "Look, this is crazy. This is disrespectful to the Chiefs. They're reigning champs. They're undefeated. You're gonna be a underdog on the road to Josh Allen? Are you kidding me? He wins. I get it. Josh Allen wins in the regular season. I get that. But at the end of the day, no Stephon Diggs here. They got different staff. And then if you look at it here, Amari Cooper, he's questionable with a wrist. Keon Coleman, he's out with a wrist. Then you have Kincaid, he's out with a knee injury. Then you also have Curtis Samuel, he's injured with a pec injury. So you don't have no run, you don't have no wide receivers. So the Chiefs wide receivers, the really the weakest thing on their defense. You can't even exploit it. You don't have Kincaid. If Cooper does play, he's got a bad wrist. So he's really gonna be like a decoy. How many balls can you throw to this guy with a bad wrist? Now, if he toughs it out and plays, more power to him. But you still don't have Keon Coleman, and you still don't have Kincaid. Now you have Dawson Knox, which we'll get to a little bit later. I think that he'll have a decent game today because of the Chiefs, and they just love to give up tight ends, give up tight end numbers, catches, and all that. But if you look, like I say, if you look at it, you got their receiving core is out. So yeah, I could see Buffalo winning the game because of all their receiving talent, and that run game could get going, and then Chiefs might not have enough to get the job done. But you don't have your receiving core. You're not going to beat the Chiefs, the reigning champions, undefeated, with a half a receiving core, a half a team. So no, no way I'm taking Buffalo. No way I can't do it. I'm almost this close from betting some big money on Chiefs money line because I just see this. I just see Buffalo not having enough. You got Josh Allen. I mean, we seen before Amari Cooper touchdown when um, the Bills played the Ravens. When they played the Ravens that night, they played the Ravens. I had the Bills. I took the Bills in that matchup, and I got burned because at the end of the day, they couldn't move the ball with the run game, and they didn't have enough in the pass game. And that Baltimore defense, I think, is just as good or maybe a little bit better. I think this year than well, I can't even say that because the Baltimore has been letting people back in games. They haven't been able to stop people and close the game out late. They've been letting people back into these games. So I think the Kansas City Chiefs defense may be better than the Baltimore defense. And the pieces that they had are similar to the pieces that they'll be walking into their home game against Kansas City as they did with Baltimore. And we saw how that ended up. They saying Pacheco may come back. I don't know how many touches he'll get, but still, Kareem Hunt has been enough. That man has been churning them, and he gets those yards out of the backfield. I got Kareem Hunt for a couple catches today, and I think he'll have a good receiving day, kind of leaking out the backfield, catching those little check down passes. I really think he'll do well. But give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs plus. If you kind of want to take it at plus 3.5, I took a little bit of a cushion and put them in a parlay at plus 7.5. But I'm this close. This close. I'm gonna think on it here in about an hour. I might drop some big money on money line Chiefs because I really see this game going the Chiefs' way. I see Patty, he getting up for this game. The whole Chiefs getting up for this game. They know if you look at the Chiefs' schedule, the rest of the Chiefs' schedule for this year, they know that if they get past this game, then they have a really good chance of going undefeated. Do I think it'll happen? They may trip up one of these because they still have to play the Raiders. That's a tough game for them. And then they got the Texans as well. They're kind of getting their stride back underneath them. And then they got the Chiefs as well. Excuse me, not the Chiefs, the Steelers. So if you look at this lineup, if they get past the Bills, they got the Panthers, they got the Raiders, they got the Chargers, they got the Browns, they got the Texans, then they got the Steelers and Broncos. So the Bills are probably the toughest team on this schedule outside of the Steelers. But then you got the Texans. How will they show up? Will they show up like they did against, some of their previous teams? Not, I mean, they showed up against the Lions. They really should have won that game. But uh, in time before that, they haven't looked well, and they are on a 3-game losing streak right now. And then the Browns, they haven't been good. Jameis Winston's Mr. Pick-a-Lot. He throw a lot of balls to the other team. So and then the Chargers, they don't have a lot of pieces, but they're a sound team. They beat them already this year. So, like I say, they know if they get past this game, they got a chance to go undefeated. They getting up for this game. Buffalo's coming in injured, not really at full strength. So, give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. All right, now for a segment, we're gonna wrap it up like this. We got a segment here that we call Prop Shop. We got the Prop Shop today. So looking at the prop shop today, we're gonna throw a couple props y'all way. Now, Skis is sending some of his props for us today, and these are a couple things that Dave likes. Dave likes Alexander Madison for receptions. He likes him to get at least over 2.5 receptions here. He sees that happening with the Raiders. And what I also say is that Brock Bowers' reception line, if it's anywhere around that 5.5 mark, I would take that. I mean, they don't really have a lot of pieces. Brock Bowers is their favorite target, but I could see Madison getting a couple catches as well. Then you have over Mac Jones for a pick. I could see that. The Detroit Lions team is different. And I think that he'll throw one of them dummy balls and he's gonna get that thing snatched out the air. So I can see that. I can definitely see that. Derrick Henry for a reception. I can see that as well. I like that. And then also you got Blake Group for Group A. I guess is the kicker. But he's betting here on the field goals over 1.5. So these are some of the props here that we got for you. These are Dave's selection. And I agree with a couple of these up here. Take some of these props, throw them in your parlay, build your ticket, and go ahead and lock something in. Now, also, I got this here. We put this in. I think that I got Keenan Allen over 3.5 receptions. I think that with this new coordinator, they'll try to get a couple receptions here to the receivers. Caleb Williams, he's under pressure right now, so I think that he'll start to find some of his receivers and try to build more trust with the receiving core. And him and DJ Moore, I don't think they're getting along right now. They doing a whole bunch of antics and drama and bullshit, with that, going on with that. So I think that Keenan Allen has been there by his side. Keenan Allen's an older guy. He knows that his time limited in the league. So I think that Caleb Williams will try to go to him a little bit more today. Elijah Moore over 3.5 receptions. That Saints team, I don't think they'll have a lot of time on offense. I think that Jameis Winston going back to a team that he used to play for, he's gonna try to show out. I think that Elijah Moore is going to be one of his better targets, so I think he'll get 4 catches or so. Jared Goff under 28.5. Way I see this going is that I think that the run game will get going on the Jaguars. And I think that by halftime, they'll be up by 2 touchdowns, and there'll be no need to throw the ball. So, way I see this is Jared Goff, give me the under 28.5. The game will be over before we know it, and I don't think that he'll have to throw that ball at all, really. And then Miami, giving them straight up. All right, and then the second one that we got a little ticket here, over 25.5 for George Pickens and longest reception. I think they're going to throw a bomb. The way you hit that Ravens the way you hit that Ravens defense is in the secondary. And George Pickens, 50-50 ball. I think Russ going to say, hey, they get in that huddle. They're going to say blue 18, 16, 38, Miami on 1. And he's going to turn to Pickens and say, go long. And he's going to hike that thing, and I think he's going to throw that thing 40 yards. Pickens is going to come down with it, and that'll be one of his catches. So I could see this being and I also could see him throwing a 10-yard hitch route and then Pickens doing his little slant run across the field after he catch the ball and run for like 30 yards after that. So I see Pickens going for a long run here. Also, like I say, Brock Bowers, 54.5. That's easy work for him. I don't think they have anybody else to really go to other than Madison, but they like to throw to him 6, 7 times a game. I think he'll get 80, 70 yards, 75 yards here. Nick Chubb coming off very healthy. And like I say, the Saints, I don't think they'll be on offense long. You got Myles Garrett. They get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Derek Carr doesn't do well with pressure. I see a lot of 3-and-outs. And Nick Chubb, I can see, healthy, starting to break down that defense in the third and fourth quarter. Same thing with Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think they'll have to throw the ball a lot against the Jaguars. Like I say, by halftime, I think that the game will be up by they'll be up by 2 possessions. They're playing Mac Jones and the Jaguars that's had problems. And I just feel like that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get going early, and then again they're going to try to run the ball, run the game out, run the clock out because the game be over. He'll get his yards at that point. So I like these props here. That has been the prop shop, and we definitely appreciate y'all here on the TD Talk. Also, before we get out of here, you guys go to the Instagram. Go ahead, follow the Instagram. We on YouTube as well. Also on Twitch. That's where we stream at. You guys touch down with us, touch in, tap in with us. We put some of our win tickets up there. That way we can showcase some of the hits that we've been hitting on. You guys go and make that thing. Hit that follow button so you can keep us locked in. All right, this has been another episode of TD Talk. We'll see y'all